ourselves. We have Mayor Newsom. Thanks for coming.
Token politician.
Hi, thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And
Next
time I'm going to talk to my scheduler. I don't want to follow Eric Schmidt. But thank you all very much for being here. My job is simple. It's to welcome you to this wacky and wonderful place I call home, San Francisco. A city of dreamers, of doers, of entrepreneurs, of innovators. A city that prides itself on being on the leading and cutting edge of new ideas. You are home to the birthplace of life science and the biotech industry. It all started here in the great city and county of San Francisco. And I bet half of you have forgotten that the United Nations was also founded here in the city and county of San Francisco. I say that to make this point. What makes this city a special place is our remarkable capacity to live together and advance together and prosper together across every conceivable and imaginable difference. And at its core, that's the economic paradigm that makes this city so vibrant and what makes me so optimistic about our fate and future. You all know this. It used to be the economic paradigm is that a big company would open up and everyone would move into that city where they're operating. Now you know it is exactly the opposite. Companies are flocking to where the talent is, to where people are. So the economic paradigm and the focus of our efforts here in San Francisco are to create the conditions where people, regardless of their race or ethnicity, regardless of their religious affiliations, young, old, rich, poor, regardless of their sexual orientation, that they come here to live out loud, to live their lives in a way that they're fully expressive. And that is our economic purpose, is to create those conditions to invite the best and the brightest minds from around the world to this 47.5 square mile city that was probably best described as 47.5 square miles surrounded by reality. It truly is a magical place when we not just celebrate all our interesting differences, but we unite around our common humanity, the things that bind us together. And I think that's one of the reasons you're in a city that has among the lowest unemployment rates of the 58 city and counties in this state. Still way too high, but doing better than almost any other county in California. And it's a city and county where people are making historic investments. We are home to Twitter. We're home to Ustream. We're home to Foursquare. We're home to Wikimedia Foundation. And we're now home to a 270,000 square foot brand new headquarters at 8th and Brannan of one of our favorite companies, Zynga, that formally today, though it was leaked, is announcing their new headquarters here in San Francisco. A company that just a few years ago had 398 employees, now has over 1,200, and is opening up in a space where they've made a 7-year commitment to our city, where they'll probably grow north of 2,000 employees. Of course, that's not where it all ends. Gaming is taking off. You know this. If you're with Playdom or Playfish, you know this. You're Zynga, you certainly know this. And I, again, just congratulate them on their wisdom of making a commitment, a long-term commitment to this city. And I, in return, we are, as a city, making a long-term commitment to Zynga. But so are we, too, to companies like Salesforce that are growing exponentially. Companies like Dolby Labs right here around the corner in this great city. This city is taking off. This city is starting to see these high-tech companies that were down in the Silicon Valley and other parts of the state and across the country now coming back and rediscovering what's right with San Francisco. And I guess I'm here because, not just because I'm the mayor, but I'm a guy who lives here. A guy who's created over 1,000 jobs in the private sector and cares about our fate and future and cares about this city as an economic engine for this state and this nation. And I'm here to tell you that San Francisco's best days are ahead of us, not behind us. And there's a lot of excitement and enthusiasm taking shape here in this city. And I want to impress upon you, those of you that may be operating companies outside this city, to take another look at San Francisco. Those of you that are operating outside this state, to think about this state once again and where the talent is. That's the competitive differentiator. Talent, people, creativity, and creating again those conditions that invite the best and the brightest from around the world. It shouldn't surprise any of you. Proximity to Berkeley to Stanford to UCSF, the research and development that's being done down here, that human capital is what's defining this economic engine in this region. We know what's happening in Maryland. We know what's happening in Connecticut. We know what's happening in Boston. And we know what's happening in places like San Diego. And we know they understand these ingredients. But again, those ingredients, that organic growth that we have seen in this city is part of the DNA. It's part of the lifeblood of San Francisco. So I'm here in that stead as mayor to promote this wonderful city I call home. I'm here as a small business person to say one day I look forward, not very soon I hope, to get back into the business world. And I hope that I'll continue to find the growth and opportunity to invest in and around the San Francisco Bay Area. And I'm here to tell you that now is the time to invest in the city. The rents have never been better. The opportunity to find big space has never been so self-evident. Don't be like those companies that have to ship all their employees and spend hundreds of thousands of dollars a month down to the South Bay when you could spend less money and just go where the employees already are by opening up and expanding here in the great city and county of San Francisco. So that's my admonition to you. I am the guy with the tie on, so I'm a little uneasy being here, but I say this. I just came back, by the way, from a lieutenant governor's debate, but I'm not going to bore you with that and the politics. But I am here to thank you for all your work. Thank you for your creativity. Thank you for your ingenuity. Thank you for your willingness to take risks. Learn from your mistakes. Thank you for understanding that mistakes are a portal of discovery. Thank you for understanding you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Thank you for enlivening people's senses and giving people hope and expectation and wonder. That is that quality of imagination that's inside of each and every one of you. Thank you for making San Francisco, this state, and this nation, and for that matter, the world, such a special and unique place. And thank you for the work that you will be doing, that work that, again, is ahead of all of us and inside of each and every one of you. Thank you to TechCrunch. Thank you for making the time and making the investment into hosting this conference here. And thank you to Mayor Bloomberg for saying a lot of the same things I just said in New York. But with all due respect, we here in San Francisco are equally competitive than my good friend Michael in the East Coast. And we want you to recognize those inherent, unique advantages. Geography, proximity, a gateway to Asia and Pacific, to California, our fate and future. The sky is the limit. And I'm grateful all of you being here and taking the time. Thank you all very much. Have a great conference.
Well, thank you, Mayor Newsom. Thank you for coming by. I think next time we're going to have Mayor Newsom, Mayor Bloomberg debate on which is the better city. So the most amazing thing